Hi, this is Mika. Welcome to Leap Taken. Here at Leap Taken, I talk about all things witchy, craft related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. And today is my witchy review, and I'm talking about these cards, Moonology Oracle cards. These cards are not new. They've been around, I want to say, for at least 2 years, I think, at least. Um, and I've already opened it and looked at the cards and all that, just giving you a heads up. I even did a reading, which I'll share in a moment. But the reason I decided to make this part of my witchy review is I got these for Christmas. One of my kids got this for me for Christmas, along with a couple other gifts, but they really played up, the more, spiritual, esoteric, witchy gifts, if you will, this year. So I was so happy that they got this for me. It's not that they've never purchased, I mean, my kids are still young, but one of them is finally gainfully employed where he's consistently able to do so, and the other one, she's at the point where she's got a little cachet too, so they could buy real gifts. That's the advantage, by the way, when you have older children. They can actually reciprocate now. They could take you to lunch. They could buy you Mother's Day gifts. You don't have to buy it yourself. They can actually go out on their own volition and buy things for you. So this is what my kid bought me. One of the gifts for one of my kids was this book. I mean, this Oracle deck. So I'm super excited to share because, hello, when your kid makes you something and does something nice for you, you're supposed to share. But anyway, look at the inside of the box. Isn't that cute? Let the moon be your guide. Now, I didn't see a lot of reviews for this particular Oracle deck, so I don't think everybody's went out and purchased this, so it's still kind of new. But it comes with a Oracle Cards guidebook. I've been through the guidebook, and I feel like I need the guidebook in order to do a proper reading of understanding the cards. And here are the cards. I just took them out of the box. So altogether, it's 44 cards. Not bad. Not a lot to remember. So they're pretty large. I mean, look at my hand behind here. It's pretty much as large as my hand. And the cards themselves are really thick. If you can hear that, let me get close to the mic. If you can hear that, they're very thick. And the sayings on the cards, or what's on the cards, are pretty bare bones. I'll be honest with you. It's not a lot of words or things like that on there. The pictures are basically, zodiac, astrology, and moon. It's moonology. So that's pretty much what it is. So I went ahead and I did a reading on these cards as well. So in this review that I'm giving, I will just say, yes, I enjoyed the cards. I like the cards a lot. I think the cards are very nice, actually. I think the quality was actually really something else. I wasn't expecting such. I mean, the cards are super thick. I don't know if this shows up well, but you can kind of, it's pretty heavy. So this is just 44 cards, but it feels like when they're in a box, they feel pretty substantial. So that I like. The coloring and all of that sort of stuff, the imagery, I think it's really nice. And not just nice, I think it's actually better than nice. I mean, it's really good. It's quality. I don't feel like I'm getting, there is so much background noise. I don't feel like I'm getting, uh, something low quality. It looks really nice. And it's a very simple design on each one. The author of the cards in the book is Yasmin Bolin, and the artwork by Nix Rowan. So, in case you were wondering. But I went ahead in the guidebook, they did give a reading, and I did that for the waxing moon because we're going to have a full moon soon. So I said, you know what? I sat on these. Yes, I got them on Christmas, and I decided to use them in February. I have a lot of cards, and as much as I appreciate and love that my kids got me a bunch of witchy stuff, I can only authentically use so much. So I'm not. This is not like a pair of pajamas and you throw on. For me, oracle cards, cards in general, tarot cards, oracle cards, any sort of tool that I use for divination or anything that I'm applying to my spirituality, I don't approach it. I approach it. I take it very seriously. I should say that. So I felt called to use these cards this week, so that's why I used them. But they have a spread that they use. You know, most books that come with the guidebook that comes with the cards. Forgive my nails; they look crazy. I'm about to get them done. Actually, when I'm done this, but anyway, you can see here. There's a spread. Hopefully, you saw that. It says it's the waxing moon 4 card spread. So the waxing moon is the time from the new moon to the full moon, a period of approximately 2 weeks when the moon appears to be growing in size every night. This is the time for working with gusto toward your goals, and the cards in this spread reflect that. Think about your number one aim of the moment, and then one by one, place your chosen cards face down on this layout. So, card one is what's rising up in me between now and the full moon. Card two is what's the solution to any challenge I face now. Card three is the advice, and then card four is the final outcome. So they even give a reading, an example basically. So if you had pulled certain cards, it tells you, what to think of that. So I went ahead and I did this reading, and this is my notebook, or excuse me, notebook planner that I use. Well, it's kind of like a notebook that I also record my tarot readings in it. Now, I will still, sometimes, it depends, place my tarot reading results, the readings. I might place them in my grimoire because I might feel called to, especially if it was around a ritual or spell work. But right now, I've been using the book that I have here in my planner, and I'm getting along with that just fine. So I'm gonna go ahead. I had to print out some more pages in my tarot pages, but I have them, and the pages got a little. I didn't cut them all on the right size, so they're a little staggered, funny, but you don't see that I do, so don't worry about it. So anyway, ta-da! Here's my tarot sheet. I got this from Etsy, and it's a printable for you to cut. And I have a paper cutter, and I have the hole punch thingy to put into my planner. So, and I have a disc bound happy planner, so I just add these sheets in. But anyway, so I did this reading, guys, and I used my sheet here. And when I pulled the reading, it's just 4 cards, so I'll just quickly talk about it. So what's rising up in me between now and the full moon? So the full moon is, upon us, coming upon us here. I believe it's on the 11th, and I'm recording this on the 9th. You're going to see this on the 12th. And by the way, I'm recording instead of just going live like I would prefer, because I will be out of town celebrating quite a few things. My husband's birthday is the 11th. Our 14-year anniversary is on the 13th. Purposely got married on February the 13th. And of course, the 14th is Valentine's Day. So this time of year, it's always like a lot kind of going on. It's always something. No matter what, we always got good food. So we're going to go somewhere with good food and good music and a good time. So anyway, that's what we're doing. We're going to take a little getaway this weekend. But anyway, back to the reading. So what's rising up in me between now and the full moon? So I pulled the card. Oh man, I should have had the cards handy, right? Anyway, it's called North Node. Step out of your comfort zone. I am so sorry. I should have really thought that part out before I did it. I meant to do that and I didn't. Oh well, maybe I'll find it at some point. But anyway, step out of your comfort zone. So what's rising? Stepping out of my comfort zone. I would definitely say that's true. Now, these cards that I have, what I did was I basically, let's talk about cleaning. I'm going to just change subjects for a second while I look for this card. You do understand that when you get a new deck of cards, how you cleanse them is up to you. How you cleanse anything, metaphysically speaking, is going to be up to you and what you deem as clean. So if you, have some incense smoke or sage, and you can, just run them through, maybe say some intentional words, or your thoughts are that they're being purified and cleansed, right? Or you might do something where you leave them out during a full moon or even a new moon, depending on, what you're doing, depending on how your magic works. I found one of the cards. Anyway, but yeah, you can do that. Now, for me, full disclosure, I didn't do a lot with these cards. They have already gone through a cycle of new moon and full moon from January because I've placed them a little bit out of the way so they could be in my windowsill behind me so that they could get the moon rays as well as the sun rays. Because again, I haven't talked too much more about it, but I'm definitely been working, researching, and understanding more, tapping into solar energy, the sun energy. A lot of times, as witches, we talk about the moon phases, which I'm totally into, but there's also, solar energy and using that energy for ritual and, to empower and to purify and to cleanse and so forth. Point being, I've been tapping into that, so this had a lot of exposure to sun rays, which I believe is purifying. And that goes into my thoughts on alchemy and so forth. So, with sun, it's fire, that element, it's purifying, it'll desecrate, it'll destroy. So it's intentional, when too much. But in my situation, I look at it like, okay, well, it's cleansing just enough all the energies that I don't want, or actually any energies other than what I impart or invite in for use of these cards. So there's that. Anyway, I know I went off a little bit, but anyway, back to the point. So I did this reading and it told me to step out of my comfort zone. So just the act of how I did the cards was stepping out of my comfort zone. If I'm being honest, I am having a time find. It's 44 cards. It can't be that hard to find it. But anyway, I definitely am in the season right now of trying different things. I have so many different projects that I want to do and work on this year. So, yeah, I definitely have to kind of wrap my mind around maybe being a little bit more out of my comfort zone than what I normally am. So that's okay. So that's that what's rising up in me between now and the full moon. That's what's rising up in me, and that realization, I believe. And then the next one was, what's the solution to any challenge I face now? So I pulled this card called the Cardinal Moon, which for some reason I can't find any of the cards as I talk. Poor planning on my part. I'm sorry. I'm out of my comfort zone. But anyway, yeah. So be bold, make the first move. Cardinal Moon. So I'm like, okay, be bold, make the first move. All right, got it. So that's kind of the solution. Get out of my, and here it is. I'll find the other one eventually, but this is that one, just to let you guys see. Let me hold this right. Yeah. So you see this? How it's really, the design is really pretty. And this is the back. There's nothing else on it. So this is it. So you kind of need the book to get deeper meaning on some of this stuff. But I'm just, I don't want to make this video super long. So anyway, so the third one was the advice. So what's the advice? And the advice was void of course, which I did find when I was looking for the first one. This is the void of course card. Look at this one. It's so dark. And it just says, nothing will come of this situation, right? So nothing will come of this situation. That's what it says. So the advice, that can be taken a lot of different ways. So remember, I'm at what's rising up between me and now and the full moon. The north node, step out of my comfort zone. Then it's saying, what's the solution? To be bold, make the first move. And then the advice, nothing will come of this situation. And how I'm basically looking at it, like nothing I need to be concerned about will come of this. Like just go on, live out loud, you're good. That's how I took it. And then the last one was the final outcome, which was new moon in Sagittarius. I can't believe I can't find this. Oh, here was the step out of your comfort zone. After all that, it was right up front. So this was the first card I pulled where it says what's rising up between me now and the full moon. This was the card that I pulled. So I, instead of trying to flip through all the cards, I figure I just kind of make it make sense. So that's why I'm doing the video this way. Hopefully it resonates, because it could be a bit, boring looking at each card. Unless you want to. I can always add a flip through of these cards and do another reading or something like that in another video. So I don't mind if you're curious. But I figure they've been out for a while, so you might have saw a flip through. But anyway, the last one, the final outcome, is the new moon is Sagittarius, and it says luck is on your side. So luck is on my side. That's the final outcome, which to me supports getting that void of course card, where it was saying that that's full moon Sagittarius, that, I basically don't worry about it. Like, nothing's really going to come much of this. So basically, live out loud. Luck is on your side. I just took that as a positive, meaning like, you good girl, don't worry about it. So I was more than happy to put this in my tarot journal section of my planner, because obviously I'm going to love that message. Why would I not love this message? Um, so I think these cards are great if you are feeling, uh, I guess I want to say, especially during those moon phase, different, the marked moon phases, like the full moon, the new moon. Um, I think this is a great way of maybe using these cards around, especially around that time, and just picking up on that energy. The readings that they had in here, the examples, I thought were really nice and helpful. I know the one that, if I could ever find this card, guys, I am so sorry. I should have been more prepared. But anyway, yeah, I will be using this again. Let me just put it to you like that. This is something I have been eyeballing these cards, but I'm not big on oracle cards. And since I'm not, these cards really don't, they were nice to look at, and I saw others talking about them. Like, I go on Amazon, I'll read the comments and see what everybody else says as far as the quality of the cards and so forth. I'm somehow skipping it. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Here was the last one. Luck is on your side. New moon is Sagittarius. So isn't this nice? I thought this card was really pretty. Like, I can't get over just how thick and like they're so big. I kind of dig this a lot. But anyway, these are the cards that I pulled, and I believe, yeah, Cardinal. Yeah, this is the second one. Yeah, so I believe that this message is right on time. I accepted. I received the message. It's been right, because I have had experiences over the last couple of days where I've definitely been out of my comfort zone, leading in dialogue and discussions I normally wouldn't do it. I'd probably let my husband do, or somebody else, but I have been making a point to kind of be more assertive that way. And it is a little bit out of my comfort zone. So that's really happening. And I kind of reflected on that a little bit when I was looking at these, when I, well, even now, but when I did the reading, I was like, I feel like I'm already in this phase right now. This is really true. But yeah, so the cards themselves are really nice. I would recommend purchasing them if you were looking for some oracle cards. They, pricing wise, they were a gift. But you can go on Amazon and just search Moonology oracle cards. Like I said, they've been around long enough. You should be able to find them. and I just saw them on Amazon, so I know they're there. This little bad boy, this sweet little page that I have, I will link again in the description if you want to purchase this. I have no affiliation with the person who makes these. I just fell in love with this, and I think it's great to add to my planner. Um, I love this. I love that on the back I could, go into further detail, interpretation. That's what she has on the back, but you can write all the details there. But I just wrote everything on the front page because it was just a couple simple words, but it had weight to it. Just a little bit that I wrote. But anyway, yeah, I would definitely get into these cards. So that's it for the Witchy review. Now it's time for me to go into other topics. Usually, lately when I've been going live, I notice I kind of veer off a little bit into some other topics sometimes. So today will not be any different. And we just had the Super Bowl this past Sunday, and Tampa won, Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Tom Brady at the helm as quarterback. They won. I did watch the Super Bowl, so why am I talking about the Super Bowl? Because I noticed that this article that's old has been circulating a little bit more into little groups that I belong to, especially like on Facebook. The witchy groups that I belong to there, or pagan or spiritual books, or groups or hoodoo or anything like that, whatever the name is under that umbrella. Where I didn't even click on the link this time because I've read it before. It's short. It's not like it wasn't like national outlet or anything, but it is circulating again on the internet. And basically, Giselle, who is his wife, she was a supermodel. I don't know if she's. I don't think. Yeah, I think she's past that point because you age out of supermodeling apparently, right? Anyway, beautiful Brazilian woman, and she's had his babies. They're married, and she's also, from at least the article, a witch. She's a practicing witch, and she's done work, appeal to whoever she works with. It really doesn't matter. The point is, so for her husband's success. And I bring this up because I am someone who has done the same thing. That is how I get down. That's how I work in my marriage. I have done, I do, not done, I actively am always working on the betterment of my family. But when it comes to my husband specifically, when it comes to his career, when it comes to his finances, his money, and all that coming in, yes, protection, all that sort of stuff. I definitely consistently do workings for him for that. Is he aware? Yes, he is. The details of what I'm doing? No, that is, witchcraft is not his thing. It's mine. So no, he is not fully aware of everything I do. In the same way, I think that's what she was basically saying is with Tom Brady. It's the same thing. He knows, in the same way that your mom is praying for you and that you don't get hurt and that you score and you do well and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, well, his wife is doing a little bit more detailed this approach with it. But ultimately, they both are sending a positive energy, right, for his success. In this example, I assume his mom is doing these wonderful things for him. I don't know all the details about Tom Brady, but anyway, the point is, I kind of wanted to just focus on this thing with his wife doing workings for him. And it just got me to really thinking. And guys, leave a comment if you are in a situation, married, or if you are just in a relationship in general with someone, and you're do you do or if you would like to be, do you understand how, or do you agree about doing workings and things like that, spells, rituals, charms, what have you, for their overall success? Are you somebody who believes in that, even if the person doesn't necessarily practice? They're with you, they know you do, but it's not their thing. But you're using your thing to help them with all of their things. Um, as long as the person doesn't mind, I don't see anything wrong with that at all. Um, Obviously, because I've been doing it. And also, it gets tricky though on that thing. I remember reading the article a while ago. I think that he was receptive to what she was doing for him. I think it would get tricky if he wasn't. If he didn't see the value in her spirituality. I think that would definitely be an issue. And I only just want to speak a little bit to that because I think for a lot of people who are in relationships, even if you're not married, you're in the relationship forever. How long? Especially, I think in the beginning, it's going to be a little difficult. I think for some of us, well, maybe it won't be so difficult depending on your personality, but for some people, it could be difficult just saying, hey, I practice, I'm a witch, especially if they're telling you, hey, I'm up for this promotion. Imagine, you're a seasoned witch, you've been doing what you're doing, you live comfortably, you have within, what all the things that you would desire for the most part in your life, or they're actively coming to you. So you feel pretty good about your ability to affect energy and change and manipulate it. So someone you're caring about, have a growing interest in, and vice versa. They're telling you about things that those are like ding ding dings in your head. Yeah, I'm up for a promotion. Yeah, we're closing on this house. Me and my partner, investment property, or I'm just getting out of this program I'm in, and I'll be doing X, Y, Z with this information. Um, Things of that nature, or whatever project or endeavor they're working on, and you hear this and you're like, at least I know me, I'm thinking, well, what can I do to help them? I'm already thinking what spell I'm going to use and all that sort of stuff. So, in that situation like that, you can just, if I would just do it. I wouldn't talk about it. I would just help this person, and I would just do the working as if for anybody else that you care about. Don't tie in your growing love, romantic love for them and all that sort of stuff. You don't need to do all that. Instead, just focus on them and them reaching their goals and just sending that extra energy. Ultimately, it's going to be up to them anyway, because if they choose to no longer pursue it, or they give up, or they just change directions, that's always on them. But for the original thing that they presented to you, if it's real and that's what they really want to do, you just lended more energy to make that goal a little bit more to be accomplished, right? If it does weigh on you, then yeah, that could be a great time to mention, hey, yeah, I do, you know, certain rituals, part of my spirituality. I practice, rituals, for positivity, and that's usually the safest way to broach the subject. Those type of buzzwords, oh, for positivity and for peace and for success. People hear that and they typically don't have a negative response to that, right? So yeah, so I would just go ahead and say that, and go ahead and do the working. Now, if someone told you no, that somebody, again, romantic relationship wise, if they told you no, don't do anything for me, I would. I mean, if it's early on, I get it. They don't know you that well, so you don't know what they're into. They haven't told you everything yet either, so might be afraid you're going to block something they're doing. But if it's coming from a totally different reason, more like they're scared, or they, they practice something that's kind of not in aligned with what you practice, then yeah, I don't know. I probably would rethink that person as far as dating, because this kind of stuff is going to come up, especially if you're an actively practicing practitioner. It's going to come up, so it's going to be kind of hard um, to ignore that. Also, you might have things in your house, you want an altar set up, like that kind of stuff can be disturbing to people. So loud. That kind of stuff could be disturbing to people who are not, really comfortable with all this kind of stuff. So, anyway, like I said, I was going to go on a little bit, a purposely tangent on different topics on this video, because I kind of wanted to get this out, and leave in a comment. So, what do you think about that? If you're familiar with the article that I'm talking about, that's kind of making its way around social media again, with Giselle Bundchen, who is, I guess, Giselle Brady. I don't know if she took his last name. She is the wife of Tom Brady, and she says that she helps him using her spirituality, which would fall somewhere under the pagan umbrella. It doesn't matter the details of specifically what she practices. Although I guess if you look at his success, you might want to know, what does she do? What she do again? Because it looks really good. I mean, this guy is killing it, right? He's setting records, like trends. Like he's kind of a big deal. I got excited about it. Yeah, somebody not too far from my age really doing something athletic, and the whole country, the world is taking notice. Yeah, I'm gonna get behind that a little bit. And I know Tom Brady has some other stuff attached to him with his political leanings and things of that nature. I am purposely excluding that from this conversation, because we're not going there. We're just talking about the wife and the magic. I'm not even getting, that's why I refuse to go too much into detail of what type of magic or whatever it is that she does specifically. I just know it falls under the pagan umbrella, and we're going to leave it there. I think sometimes, right now where we are in the climate we're in, if you can keep it high level but still get your point across, great. The problem is when you want to get a little bit too detailed, especially when you're talking about controversial people, around certain topics of politics, really anything now, most of these days. You just have to kind of go easy on the details. So that's why I'm just kind of skimming over the details, because that's not what this is about. It's the overall situation, and I'm just expanding on it. Okay. So, again, let me know in the comments what you guys think about all this. If you have know what I'm talking about and you've seen this, let me know. And if you didn't know, and I'm telling you for the first time, What are your thoughts on, doing magic for significant others, with or without their knowledge? I'm somebody who honestly, I don't think everything has to be said. Are you coming from a place of love? What's your intent? Now, it does get tricky because some of us mamas out here, mama bears, a lot of us feel that we're doing something that's beneficial, and we have that part of us. So, and a lot of us can't turn that off even when we're dealing with our men. Mm. So, I would caution you to be just a little bit clearer, not a little bit, a lot clearer, to make sure that you're not having a moment where you're going on what you think is best, and maybe blocking that person whatever lessons they need to learn. The reality of it is, even with tarot cards, shells, runes, bones, crystal balls, regardless of the message received about the future, whether for you or for somebody else, you always have the ability to change the results of what the final outcome. It may not go exactly as it was shown to you, because the reality of it is we really do have free will, and things can change. It doesn't mean that the situation is, um, if you saw something where a person that you love, your significant other, was starting a new business endeavor and you saw that maybe it was going to fail. Well, part of you have to wonder, is it your own fear, your own bias? Because a lot of us are afraid to take chances and things like that, because maybe we've been burned in the past, or we just really strongly crave stability and a 9 to 5 offers that versus starting something new. So you got to kind of question your own motivations behind that, or was your energy kind of flooding into the reading? And if you really truly felt it wasn't, and it is what it is, you can tell the person about it. Maybe it's just important that you tell them. Maybe that you got that, vision, or you got that reading about doom and gloom for their business endeavor in the future because you're meant to tell them, as opposed to just jumping to conclusions that you should do some work for them. Just saying, it might be more of that because maybe they know a little something that can completely avoid that. Maybe they were wrestling with a choice, and you made it simple by just telling them about, what you got from your reading. So just something to think about with all this sort of stuff. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I kind of just wanted to go off just a little bit and talk about that and see what everybody else thought. So just let me know in the comments. Also, if there's something that you would like for me to review, let me know in the comments. I know I'm gonna circle around and I'm gonna do. I can't actually. I'm looking forward to doing this Charmed. So next Friday, spoiler alert, I'm doing Charmed, the series, the new series, and I'll definitely. And I got a, you know who you are. You gave me an idea for that. I'll talk about the new series and compare it with the original, which I've watched so many times. I don't even need to refresh myself. I know pretty much everything that happened. I'm good. So I trust me, I am somebody who can go into detail about it. So if you were curious about the new series Charmed and you wanted to know if it's worth a peek, if it's worth investing in, come on Friday, next Friday, following Friday, not this Friday, next Friday, and I'll be happy to do a live and jump on. I usually get on at Arizona time between 1 and 1:30. So by 1:30 at the latest, I jump on. I like to give myself a range in case anything happens. But yeah, so that's Arizona time. So that's 2 hours behind Eastern time. So that would be 3:30, between 3 and 3:30 Eastern time, if that helps. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Love these cards. I really do. I'm going to be doing a full moon spread, and follow Leap Take It on Instagram. I'll take a picture and I'll show you what that looks like using these cards if you're curious. Or if you just need a little inspiration, I'll be happy to share what I got. By the way, I usually just go to Pinterest and I look to see what they have. Usually there's something on there as far as for like tarot or oracle card readings that resonate with me. I almost always find something, I pin it, and I come back to it, and I look for new stuff too. So if you don't know what to do and you want to do a full moon reading, check out Pinterest or go to Leap Taken on Instagram and you'll see what I came up with, and maybe you can do that one too. All right, so thank you so much for watching. Again, this is Mika, Leap Taken. Please like, subscribe, share. If you have already subscribed, I appreciate it. I thank you very much. And thanks so much again for watching. Bye-bye.